if you dance at one wedding and not two weddings. So, procrastination. Do you know the word procrastination? Yeah.
Well.
Too well. Because in English it's daily word that you use, but in Swedish procrastination is more like a scientific term. In Swedish we say skjuta upp, push it in front of you or something like that. But procrastination means that you're not doing right now what you really think that you should do. For some reason you are pushing this and doing something else. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. And usually procrastination comes from one of three sources. And the first one is that someone else is forcing you to do something. You didn't choose yourself to do this. Someone else said that you should do this. The second reason is that you're afraid of criticism. You're afraid that someone will criticize the outcome of this activity. So if you don't do anything, if you don't create anything, you won't get any criticism because no one will say that this is not good enough. So every time when you have some activity you need to do and you're afraid that this will not be good enough, it's very easy to go and get a cup of coffee or turn on the TV or do something else. And the third one is that you don't know how it will end. You have a big task, big activity, and you know about what you will want to do, but you don't know exactly the small steps how to get there. And instead of just starting, you do something else. You recognize this?
Yes.
Yeah? For example, you have a project here in school, some big project, and you get a small description of what you're supposed to do, but you know that you have to fill it out yourself and do a lot of things. So, but before starting, you do something else instead of starting. Yes, because you don't know all these steps. This is what I was going to talk about. I like to think about the brain as a stack. This is not what the brain looks like, but this is more a model of the brain with 4 different levels. And the lowest level is called lizard level, maybe, or reptile level, or something like that. And that's what we inherited from the lizards or the reptiles. It's kind of instincts or behaviors that we have when we are born, like swallow or blink, or twinkle, or things like that. That we have inherited, and we always have them. We haven't trained, we haven't consciously choose to do them. We haven't learned anything that made us do this. We were born this way. And the second level is called the limbic level. Limbic. And this is what we share with the mammals. Do you say mammals? Yeah, mammals. And for example, it gives us the ability to remember things that we don't see right now. So we get a long-term memory, more than like 5 seconds. We get the memory of things that happened 1 year ago, or 1 week ago, or 1 hour ago, or something like that. And it also gives us the ability to get awards, to feel awards. That we like something, that when we're doing something, we feel the reward in the head. So this was good. I like to do this. This was I want to do this again. This is called the limbic system. And on top of that is the cortex. The cortex is like the shield of the brain. And in the cortex, you can I have to look at my notes to remember it. Yeah, exactly. We can make conclusions. We can have this overview thinking that we were practicing before. So most mammals, they can't do this overview thinking. They can't make conclusions. They can't learn things from or see things. They don't think like I need to do that in order to get that. Now I learned that, so I will use that later on. And the fourth, the top level, is called the frontal loop level. Have you heard this term, frontal loops? It's something that we have here. And in frontal loops, we can imagine things. So we can invent things and think about the future. If I, instead of getting this coconut and try to eat it, I can get here and create a hammer, and I can crash the coconut. And most animals can't do that, except for maybe chimpanzees or the highest animals, and humans, of course. And all these 4 levels, we can benefit from all these 4 levels when we want to be productive, when we want to focus. But there are different ways of get benefits from each of them. So neither of them are bad. We just have to be aware of how to use them. And about playing the guitar, so I think that when you practice a lot playing guitar, then the guitar playing becomes this at this lower level. It's something that you can do without thinking about it, or whatever you're practicing and you're good at. Do you recognize this guy? Probably not. It's a football player from Romania. Is anyone here from Romania?
Yeah.
You? Yeah? Which one is the best football player in Romania currently?
I have no idea.
Okay. You know a player called Adrian Motto?
Yeah?
Yeah. He gets into trouble all the time.
Yeah.
He's not very lucky because someone finds him with drugs or with things like that. But he's a very successful football player. He used to play for Chelsea and Juventus and Fiorentina and a lot of good clubs, and Romanian national team. And he has said in an interview that no curses can touch me because when I play football, I have my underwear inside out. So every time before, when he's in the locker room, before he goes out to the pitch, he turns his underwear inside out. And maybe you can try this tomorrow before you go to a lecture, but I don't think it will work. But I think it works for Adrian Motto. And why is that?
Psychology, something that he put himself as trick to be able to focus more on
Believe that.
I think it's the same like with the placebo. When people get pills and they told that this pill will make you super smart.
Yeah.
They take this pill and unconsciously they think that this pill makes them super smart. So that helps them to open their possibilities.
Yeah. So it could be like placebo. He believes in it, and that improves his self-confidence.
Yeah, like your religion, you know, like
You were going to say something?
In a lot of sports, people actually train routines.
Sorry?
People actually train routines. You can see it, I've done it coaching little kids, and you actually train a routine that triggers the mind to say, okay, now we're going to focus on this activity. A perfect example would be like a famous tennis player, Agassi. Can anyone remember what he'd do before he would return the serve? He'd take his t-shirt and do this, and it would fall, and he'd do it again,
Yeah.
and he'd be ready. And he'd do that every single time, and that was his way of saying, okay, focus on what's going to come at me in the next 5 seconds.
Yeah. And that was the point I was going to do. I think he's programming his brain. If he does this every time before he's going to do something, then whenever he does this, he turns his brain into this mood. And you remember this guy, or you know this guy? I mean, it's a guy that worked at a research center run by what was the name of the researcher? Pavlov, yeah, exactly. And he won the Nobel Prize 1904, something like that. And they recognized that the dogs, when they saw the persons that normally feed them, they produce more salive just by seeing these people. And he made a lot of experiments with visual signals and audio signals before they got the food, and he could prove that the dogs created more salive when they could train their brains. It's called conditional reflex. So what the lizards have, or what we have also, is unconditional reflex. Unconditional reflexes are reflexes that we got from the evolution, that the species have from the evolution, like twinkling, for example, or swallowing. But conditional reflexes, they need practicing. So you as an individual, you have practiced that when some signal will happen, you automatically get the behavior without thinking about it. So if Adrian takes his underwear inside out every time before he starts playing, do you believe me when I say that?
Partially.
Then he trains his brain to come in this aggressive football mood from the meditative locker room mood. His brain is changing every time he does that. And it would be great if we could have this, if we could conditionally, or if we could train some signal on ourselves for productivity. So whenever we do something, we will get more productive or more focused on reading school books or whatever. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah. And I claim that you can train that. You can create those conditional reflexes.
So if you will see the man is putting his underwear outside, he's crying out.
Yeah.
I mean, he's trying to think about something, you know, like.
Could
I
be.
mean, but you don't think that it's make your life more like hard, you know? Just I mean that we need something to like display, just to push yourself to walk and to like think, you know. But you have emotions and you have motivation, you can do it by your brain. You don't need something like close or like some like big things, you know, like or.
Yeah.
I mean that's. It's so hard going just. I don't know.
But wouldn't it be great to have a tool, a button that if you whenever you pressed it, you would become focused?
No, I don't want that to be like a Harry Potter movie, you know. I don't have like this one, you know, and I don't just do it and my brain starts to work. I mean, it's impossible like this thing.
Okay, we'll see.
It's possible.
So our brain was created for people that lived a long time ago on the savannah or somewhere, and they had to escape sometime when a lion appeared or something. So they had to be aware of things happening all the time around them. So whenever they tried to focus on something and they saw something moving over there, they lost their focus and focused on the lion or whatever and ran away. So we're going to do another experiment. You have a paper like an A4 paper, everyone? Or something like that? Or you can take a small paper. But if you have, you can make a. You can make it like this. You put it in your right hand. Those have a paper. And then you put it in front of your. Put it in the right hand, but in front of your left eye. Okay, and then you look at the dark place in the room. And you should have both eyes open. You look at the dark place in the room, and you try to focus on that place, what you see. Now and then, you will see your right hand. You take the right hand in front of the left eye. And now and then, even though you try to look inside this thing, inside the paper, you see your hand now and then. And this is because we want to be disturbed, or we can't leave this interruption We can't just focus on this thing that we see. If something is moving, we are interrupting or disturbing.